Hey everyone, Shadowwraith back again, this time with a Warlock support build that's pretty insane. This isn't typically my playstyle. Usually I do solo, kind of fully aggressive builds, but this one is actually a ton of fun. So we've got Wendigo for blinding and shield popping, and then I have an Empowering Rift to give a 20% damage buff to the fire team. I have Healing Grenades to keep everybody alive and give us overshields, Ariana's Vow for anti-barrier, and then an Unstoppable Hand Cannon with Demolitionist, again for the champions, and then to get more Healy Grenades. And then you'll see I have pretty insane ability regen with this, much to do with the exotic, which I'll show you later. But you can see I just dropped a Empowering Rift, throw a grenade, I already got the Rift back, and then killing a couple people, and I now have my second grenade back. And this is a Master Nightfall. This is not like some just standard strike. And we're kind of blazing through these guys. You can see Wendigo with blinding. Blinds him, we don't get shot at. And then I can nade. I'm running armaments, so that gives me Wendigo ammo as well. So, if that looks interesting to you, great. Let's jump into the build, starting with subclass. We are, of course, going to be running Middle Tree Dawnblade, Attunement of Grace for the Well of Radiance. If you're not familiar, your super just drops a giant well that empowers and heals allies. It's really good. Then we have Guiding Flame, strike an enemy to burn them and empower yourself and nearby allies. Divine Protection, charge a grenade to convert it into a healing grenade that grants an overshield. And then Benevolent Dawn, healing or empowering allies regenerates all of your ability energy. So, anytime you use your powered melee, that procs Benevolent Dawn. Anytime you use a healing aid, that procs it as well. Before we jump into the other abilities, I'm going to be showing the exotic we're running, which is Starfire Protocol. You get 2 fusion grenades, and they get recharged by empowered weapon damage, and then fusion grenade kills grant rift energy. This is huge. I'll show you why. If you don't have it, you can use Sanguine Alchemy for longer rifts, Phoenix Protocol for like the standard quicker well regen, or even Eye of Another World for faster ability regen too. But we're using Starfire Protocol here, so of course, jumping back to the other abilities, we're going to be using fusion grenades so that we have 2 of them. If you're not using Starfire, use whichever grenade you want. And then we're using Empowering Rift. Again, if you're not using Starfire, I'd probably recommend Healing Rift instead. But for this, we want the Empowering Rift. And then use whichever jump you're most comfortable with. Jumping now to weapons. We're going to be running a Nightfall this week that has Unstoppable and Anti-Barrier. If you're running a different Nightfall in future weeks and there are Overload champs, you could use a bow instead of Ariana's. But we're going to be running a Hand Cannon with Unstoppable, and then Demolitionist for the extra grenade energy. And it doesn't have to be old-fashioned. You can use literally any hand cannon you want. This one was nice because I have it with Demolitionist. Alternatives, Dire Promise, Seven Seraph Officer Revolver if you want more Mind Cells, etc. Then we're using Ariana's Vow for our anti-barrier weapon, and this is probably the best anti-barrier weapon in the game. If you don't have it, you can use an exotic cipher to buy it from Rahul on the tower, and if you need an exotic cipher, Destiny just released the Matt Helsum tribute mission on Mars, and that'll get you one. Alternatively, you could use a False Promises auto rifle in your kinetic with anti-barrier, and then an Unstoppable hand cannon in your energy slot. For our heavy, we're running Wendigo GL3, mainly for the blinding grenades, but it also helps because there are a lot of arc shields in this Nightfall, and then it also has explosive light, which really helps from a DPS standpoint. So if you don't have it, you could also use something like Interference 6, and I'd be running something like Auto-Loading Holster and Demolitionist with spike grenades for the extra damage. So that's a decent alternative. And then on the artifacts, we're really only going to be using Countercharge, become charged with light whenever you or a member of your fire team stops or staggers a champion, and then Unstoppable Hand Cannon mod and anti-barrier rounds if you're not running with Ariana's. You could also run something like Inferno Whip if you really want to stagger with your melee, but I think that's kind of overkill. Jumping now to armor, we're going to be running Hive armaments here for, again, the Nightfall this week. Defeating Hive enemy with grenade grants heavy ammo. If you don't have this, you can get it from a menagerie or just run Taking Charge instead. And then Special Ammo Finder for Ariana ammo and a Discipline mod for more nades. Then we have a Recovery mod on our arms, Enhanced Hand Cannon Loader, and Shield Break Charge. If you're running an Ikelos weapon, you could use the Global Reach for War Mind Cells. And then Starfire Protocol, which I mentioned, Light Arms Reserves for Ariana ammo, Countercharge, which I talked about, and Discipline mod for more grenades. And then Righteous Boots with Protective Light While charged with light, you gain significant damage reduction when your shields are broken. This is huge. You are the medic on the team, so you want to stay alive. Hand cannon scavenger, grenade scavenger, and discipline mod again. And then lastly, on our bond, we're running Hive repurposing. Breaking a Hive shield grants grenade energy. That also procs off of a finisher. Dire artillery for super on grenade launcher kills. And then special finisher to stock up on special ammo if you or your team needs it. And then discipline mod. If you don't have Hive repurposing, you could also use something like firepower on a bond like this with special finisher and then enhanced ashes to assets. All right, so now let's take a look at how this build actually works. When you run in, you're going to drop an Empowering Rift, and then throwing a grenade and killing someone immediately gives you your Rift back, and then getting 2 kills with a demo weapon. Look, I got my grenade back already. Drop another Empowering Rift, throw another nade, get 2 kills, and boom, there's my grenade. Drop another Rift, throw another nade. It's crazy. Look at that. Nade's back already. And then for blinding nades, these are probably underused. Like, look at this. None of these guys would be able to shoot at me. It just gives you a lot of safety. And then you can use it to pop shields. And then Ariana is really nice because the recoil resets almost exactly back to where you started. So you can kind of just like click fire very nicely and just slowly pull down on the mouse. Now we'll jump back into some gameplay so you can see it with a fire team in the Master Nightfall again. Wendigo for popping shields. You can see none of them are shooting at us because they're all blind. And then stop the champion, drop an Empowering Rift, and my teammates take him down with Xenophage. And then now I toss a nade, get the kill, gets me heavy ammo and my Rift back. So I drop another Empowering Rift up here. And then look how fast, with this bonus damage, look how fast, these guys don't even have time to shield. Like, that's the power of an Empowering Rift. And again, toss a nade, get heavy ammo, get my Rift back, drop a Rift, use Wendigo to blind them, and this guy like stumbles into my teammate's grenade and explodes. So blinding grenades, try them out. They're a lot of fun. And then you can nade, drop a Rift, and then the nade kill, because the grenade blew up after I dropped the Rift, I get my Rift back again. Look how fast that one-hit enemy went down. Like, with the Empowering Rift again. And then blinding nades here. Keep the Ultras down so that we can keep them stuck there and kill them both as they try to come out of the cave. I fluff a nade there just because I thought there was still an enemy, but there wasn't. Take down the crystals, and then you can use your well on the other side. Again, you're the medic, so save your well for when you actually need it. In this case, we use it to kill this mini-boss. He doesn't have a ton of health, but it just gives you some safety because he will kill you fast. And then jumping into this last area, you have 4 barrier champions. So again, Empowering Rift, Healing Grenade for the overshields, and then I'm using Ariana's to pop shields. My teammates are using double Xenophage to kill stuff really fast. So you can see, like, my main goal is take the shields down and then they kill him with Xeno. Alright, so that's pretty much all of the content. The rest of this I'll let play out in case you want to see how frequently you can get your rifts and grenades and stuff back. But the rest of this damage phase, there's really no new content. It's just kind of examples of how I'm using the build in this Nightfall. If you have any questions or thoughts on how this build could be better, drop a comment below. And if you enjoy the content and would like to help me grow the channel, I really appreciate the like or the subscribe, and you're more than welcome to share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.
I need to top the ramp.
Yep. Oh, toasty. I'll need this next group that's coming up.
Okay.
Auto nade Coming over to you.
It got me.
Got a new guy for you. Fire uptown, native guy behind you guys. Grab some.
Okay, it's advanced.
Fire
Gated,
uptown.
I guess is a better term.
I
Getting
made the
top
first
the ramp.
group that comes toward me. Uh-oh. Doing it on. Going nade over you, Oda. Should be right behind the rock for you.
Thank you.
He's blind you as well.
Reloading.
And nading center.
It's gated again.
Drift is down. Nading up. Doing you down.
Going to mid. Oh, got money. Oh, no, they
Here we
just
go.
one here.
They're coming. They're coming.
No, are we coming me? 52.
Alright, I'm just dropping the ball here. This is where we died last two games. You guys shield shoot up. Here, Oda, over to you. Toss a nade way back. This is behind you. Damage is down.
Energy readings have returned to normal. I knew you could do it, Guardian.
Wow, 3 prisms and a shard.
Always here to help.
Surprised I still have room for this stuff.